the ability to play into boards with very little cards. It was one of the reasons why I think it gained popularity.
It's very strong going second, very strong going first, and it's very strong just making those initial plays off 1 or 2 cards as well. So we will just see who is going to win the dice roll here, I hope.
It looks like John is leading.
Very good start for him as well.
He decided to use the Pot of Prosperity early, though. Usually, the Pot of Prosperity is used later if they already have a way to start their plays.
Yeah. So if we look at Ben's here, we can see he's got Lapis Dragon as well as a number of Atlantean cards, I believe.
That's really interesting.
Which I don't think is the best start for him. So we'll see how the Unchained player is able to navigate their turn. What kind of end field would you want to see from them? Definitely the DDD King or Wave Hiking Caesar, Rage, a Trap, I guess. It's a very good start.
Yeah. I've been a really big fan of making sure you don't lose to my opponent's disruptions, such as Nibiru, Imperm, Vela. So I prefer to play more conservatively with the deck, and making sure I can also play on for the follow-up.
Yes. I think that's very key. You just want to ensure that you've got a follow-up play for the following turn, right? But you've also put up enough disruptions that your opponent's not able to capitalize on it. John
has started very strongly with Tour Guide. Yes. It is one of the best openings he could have. So I'm a bit confused as why he started with Pot of Prosperity.
Yeah, maybe just trying to decide he wants maybe another card just to play around some potential disrupts. But we're seeing him send the Shavara. I always get these names mixed up. Or Shayama, sorry, and adding the Shavara.
So I believe he must have opened with a trap then, deciding not to send the Shavara to get its effect.
So he's going to use the escape here, using the Shavara, sorry, to summon stuff from the hand.
I wonder what he could special summon, because you have a lot of options in deciding to go for now, and he's gone for the Shayama.
Yeah, so Sarama. So Sarama here is going to have the ability to set back one of the Unchained cards from the graveyard, and then on resolution destroy another card he controls. So we're going to see just how he wants to keep navigating. I am very, very, very interested to see just how Ben is able to navigate the rest of his turn.
So he decided to go for Solar Rage early. I believe it's because he wants to use the Sarama to target the Solar Rage, set the trap, and be able to use the Solar Rage second effect to add a card back from the graveyard, deciding to prioritize the follow-up rather than sticking with more monsters on the field.
We'll see how he keeps on going through the rest of his turn. But I think this is one of the most solid plays that I think I was taught by yourself, actually, just how to play these cards through interrupts.
Okay. He decided to set the second trap on, say, Abominable Chamber of the Unchained, which lets you special summon an Unchained monster from the graveyard.
Yeah. So he's destroying it with the, what's it called again? The Aruha, to summon another Unchained monster from the deck. So it looks like he might then try and push for a rank 6 play shortly with the Shayama from the graveyard.
Yeah. I believe the level 6 needs to be on the field.
Yeah. Just thinking through the rest of his plays.
Has he decided to go for a rank 3 play? Oh, it's really interesting.
Okay, he wants to make the Machina X turn 1.
Most commonly, this card is used for the DDT Vice Queen to be able to special summon and pop a monster, but he decided to use it as an interruption because it also has an additional effect where if the opponent activates the monster effect, you can detach 2 and attach the monster.
1, yeah, so I do really like this card when you've got the Dark Contracts on your field as well. It just feels very free somewhat. So
I believe he's going to use the Shayama in his grave to pop the Solar Rage now to be able to make the
like he's just
DDD.
Passed over to Ben now. Ben did draw Lockbird for turn. Doesn't do an awful lot. However, that looks like a Small World as well. So Small World, what's it called? The Drawn Lockbird can be a very good fodder for that.
I'm a massive fan of Small World because it gives you more flexibility on how you want to build your deck. I'm a very big fan of it. You can remove some of the cards you can't use in your hand to be able to search for one of your starters, while also getting a field breaker.
Yes, I think it's, and also, like other way around, you may have more of these cards that are aimed for going second, or even some of the cards, cards aimed for going second that you may not want in your hand. And you may just want to see more of your engine.
So Ben Sherman has decided to activate Deep Sea Diva's effect, and John has decided to chain his Machina to attach it.
Yep, and then on Resolution, going for the Soul of Rage there. I think he's just deciding what he wants to summon with it. Going for an Anguish there. I think I would have liked to see the Little Knight. Although it's just another piece of interruption, right? At the end of the day, that's all you really want.
Ben hasn't committed too many cards here so far, so I believe he still has the ability to play through and play more. He's only used his normal summon.
Yeah, we just have to see how important that normal summon is to his deck's game plan.
But I believe he is thinking through his options with Small World, thinking through what card he has to reveal in his hand and what card to banish to make sure he has the right links.
Yep. So we're going to see what Ben's next action is. Small World here, feeling very, very strong. It's going to Lapis Dragon. So that's a Water Sea Serpent level 5. Look at me go. We'll see what's next.
So I noticed Ben has Veiler and Droll in hand, but he didn't need to use any of these hand traps to stop John playing.
I think... Did he have a Veiler as well? Oh.
I think he might have drawn it for turn. He decided to add the Assault Synchron, which can give him the ability to special summon from his hand, but I believe while it is in the monster zone, it locks you into only special summoning Synchro monsters from the extra deck.
Yeah. Yep, so we're going to see what's happening next, and if he's got another way to extend. Assault Synchron being summoned here. I think he loses 800 life points, I believe.
Yes. I guess Ben's next plan would be to try and special summon a non-tuner from his hand to then access his...
So I believe that is Stardust Synchron. And on summon, I believe it adds... I can never remember the name of the card. I think it's Stardust Illumination, judging by his list. So he's going to start working towards his overall game plan.
So the Stardust Illumination lets you send one Stardust monster from your deck to the graveyard, or if you control a Stardust monster or a Synchro monster dimension, you can special summon it instead.
Yep. So I think he sends Stardust Trail from the deck to the graveyard. I think that gives further extension. As you can see, he's already had access to 2 Synchrons, so I'm not sure how powerful the Drunk Speeder would be. It looks like he has just passed back to John, who's going to just start by linking away. He could simply just go for Abomination here, and that should be enough. I
think John is seeing the line you mentioned. It is all adding up to 8,000 points of damage.
Yeah.
Ben is not in a good spot. I think this should be game, and Ben is recognizing it.
Yeah, there we go.
And that is it. And we're going into game 2.
Yep. So unfortunately, as I feared,
to try and stop the combo decks. I think so too, because Junk Speeder is a really amazing card. So Ben has just started. Thinking through, has he opened a way to play it? We can see a lot of...
is that a Prosperity? I'm trying to figure out what the first card in his hand is.
It's tuning.
Okay, that's a very
That should
start.
be enough, I believe, to get him to Junk Synchron. Yeah. I mean, not Junk Speeder.
So I think his hand is Droll, Imperm,
Cool by the Grave.
Cool by the Grave, and Moon and Glacier. So we're going to see...
Oh, he's also playing Moon and Glacier, so I guess that's where he's trying to
2 cards there.
Discard more cards away from John's hand.
Yep. So does tuning it sends on Resolution?
Yes,
right?
After its effect, he should...
We'll see what it's a cross out.
His hand is very good. Considering he has the Cool by the Grave, he can kind of...
So yeah, we'll see if John's got anything there.
Is he going to normals? Oh, set to Droll and Lockbird. Okay, to activate Stardust Synchron's effect. It's a special summon.
Yep.
And he has drawn
that's
Stardust
Trail as well, yes.
now he has the cards to be able to go into his synchro plays.
Yes. So we're going to see where he decides to go on from here. So he's going for Excel. I can't remember his name. Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon.
And the Stardust Dragon, I believe, gets him a Stardust token when it is used as a synchro material monster.
Illumination. So Illumination is now going to be activated, met with an Ash Blossom.
But Ben did have the Cool by the Grave to stop it.
So he's summoning out a second Stardust Synchron.
Now he can go into the Junk Speeder and be able to play for his combo, because the token was level 1.
Okay, so he has now, there's a lot here. There's a lot that can happen.
And now, given that John has activated the Ash Blossom, he already has less cards in hand, making it even easier for Ben Sherman's discard hand strategy to resolve.
So I'm quite interested to see where he goes from here. So he's got 3 tuners. I believe Stardust Synchron's a non-tuner as well, correct?
3 very powerful Synchron monsters that have, each of them have additional effects in the graveyard. So, this is a card I haven't seen before.
I remember this card, but I do not remember it.
I think it is part of the Deep Sea archetype.
Yep, so it's Deep Sea Prima Donna. Once per turn, you can target one of your opponent's banished cards, add to your hand, or special summon 1 level 4 or lower water from your deck, and if you do, add that target to
This is really amazing with the Call by the Grave.
Yeah, that works really well with the Call by the Grave, actually, doesn't it?
And he has sent the Atlantean Dragoons, another blast from the past, and it was a very dominant card when Mermails was popular. Because it has a very powerful effect of being able to search for 1 Water Sea Serpent, I believe, from your deck to your hand when it is sent to the graveyard to activate a water effect.
And then he's working alongside Deep Sea Minstrel there as well, to then, once again, look at John's hand, see what potential threats there are there. I know this is very strong if he starts with maybe the Deep Sea Diva play, and then, it removes from play till the end phase, and now the Dragoons will also trigger. Like to see what he will add here.
You also noticed that Ben did have a Moon and Glacier in hand. So I'm sure he's going to pay close attention to his graveyard to make sure he has exactly 5 water monsters to be able to special summon it.
So we're going to see how he keeps navigating throughout the rest of his turn. There's a lot of different angles he can potentially go to.
There's a lot of powerful Synchron monsters he can special summon too.
That is true.
I guess he's used Excel Synchron's effect to special summon the Stardust and immediately afterwards Synchro summon with it.
Yes. So we're going to see just quite where he goes now. So he could use the Neptibus, the Jet Synchron, and starts to make maybe a Baron de Fleur if he's playing it. I think he's just trying to decide quite where he's going.
So the Water Synchro monster, Deep Sea Prima Donna, is a tuner monster.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So a lot is happening here. So the Assault Synchron's going to reborn.
Because the Excel Synchron was tributed, you can use it to special summon a dragon, I believe?
Yeah, I believe it's a dragon. And then the Prima Donna, is then returning the banished card to the deck. Seconds, it can be quite unfortunate.
We're back.
So we've returned
to the same game state.
Yep. Luckily, we're not missing anything else. So I think just waiting for them to catch up with us, and we're going to see how they decide to keep going. So the Cyframe Lord Omega is there. Once it resolves, what do you think is going to happen next?
I think Ben's just going to try and establish more Synchro monsters. I believe we will see a Bestial Disbatter soon. Currently, I can't see a way for him to make it immediately. Oh, he's gone straight for the Moon and Glacier now. He has noticed he has 5 water monsters in his graveyard, and this is the perfect time to summon it. Being able to discard 2 cards from John's hand.
Yep. So that'll be 1, and then the second card.
He's lost the Ash Blossom and the Dark Ruler no more.
So it seems like John, unfortunately, does not really have a line of play next turn now.
It is, I feel like, going to be impossible for John to get back into this game?
So I believe the Stars Illumination lowers the level of the monster. So he's going to make the Crocodile. I missed this card. So Crocosaur is going to draw a card here. I think he's then going to use the...
it lets you draw to the number of
yeah.
that use to synchro summon it.
So I think that's going to target the Crocosaur and maybe summon a Trishula.
Another level 6 synchro. Now...
no. Yeah, so that's going to... Yeah, but it just looks like he's losing all the cards.
It is, in fact, a water synchron deck. He is leveraging the water monsters to be able to discard more cards from John's hand. And now the Omega. Is he going to actually hold the Omega for John's main phase?
I'm unsure. It depends if he wants to return a card to his own graveyard here. The card in the graveyard is Revolution Synchron. That can also bring itself back. And then you can turn that and the Crocosaur into a level 10 as well. There's the Jet Synchron as well. I completely forgot about Jet Synchron.
Yeah, most likely he would summon Bestial Spatter, but he also has the ability to summon Baron de Fleur. And I think Baron de Fleur is just as good.
I think so. I would agree with that.
Given John has such little cards, he's used Trishula instead.
Okay. Again, the Bestial Spatter could actually just bring back either the Omega or even just the Jet Synchron here.
Yeah, in fact, he has now gone for the Cypher Omega effect here. And then I believe he's going to special summon the Omega and hold it for John's main phase.
Yes, I believe that. And in the standby phase, you can always put back the evenly matched to the graveyard as well.
Or the Jet Synchron that got banished.
Jet Synchron, yeah.
Just making sure he can do his combo.
Exactly. Just making sure he does the correct plays.
In addition, Bestial Spatter can also be a negate.
It can.
Or destroy a monster effect.
Yeah, so I think it's looking very, very hard for John to return here.
Oh,
is he making...
Another Crimson Dragon.
Crimson Dragon.
And Crimson Dragon's effect is actually a quick effect to summon from the extra deck. And I might argue Trishula here is amazing, being able to summon Trishula here in John's turn. Yeah, and John packs it up for game 3.
Yep. So we're going to head into game 3 and see...
most likely seems John has elected to start. And we can see maybe a not so strong hand. Actually, I can see the DDD Dark Contract.
Dark Contract to trap, draw, and Ash Blossom as well, I believe. I thought that was a tall guide as well then. I was like, ooh. So
if John is able to play, he has a lot of cards to back up his field. Yeah,
from what I could see, Ben did have a Nibiru in his hand, as well as a Triple Tactics Talent, which those are both very, very strong and phenomenal cards. So we're most likely going to see the DDD Machina again, and this is what it is most commonly used for, to be able to turn the DDD Vice King Requiem into the XYZ, and Machina has an additional effect where you can shuffle back a Dark Contract from the field or the graveyard to destroy a card. It gains this effect because when it is overlaid on top of DDD Vice King Requiem, the XYZ monster on top gets that effect. Oh, he decided not to opt for it and destroy his trap card, but instead he's going to try and link away with the Fiendish Rhino. Yep. I think that's fine here.
Escape is a really good interruption going second as well, being able to destroy one card on the field, and as we saw, interacting with a normal summon, it has been pretty effective so far.
I think John getting a little bit confused here, but he's going to resolve his Fiendish Rhino Warrior and his Yama. See what he decides to summon off of the Yama.
Most commonly, you send the Shavara to the graveyard to be able to set an additional trap, but last time we saw him send the Shayama. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I want to see just how he decides to navigate it.
So he sends the Shayama again?
Yep.
And as the Shavara?
So I think this time, we'll see how this respects the Nibiru here. I think it's going to be a little bit harder on him in game 1. So he's going to destroy the trap card, summon Shavara out.
Using Escape to special summon again. Usually the way Unchained plays through Nibiru is that they try to hold something like a Shayama engrave to be able to destroy, and then use a Yama's graveyard effect when something is destroyed to special summon a Fiend monster from the graveyard, and this way gives you the option to keep playing if you do get Nibiru'd.
Yep, so we're going to see just how he keeps on going here. Nothing a big threat, really, for Ben right now.
Similar line of play as of game 1, going for the Soul of Rage somewhat early. Activating the Shavara effect.
Yep, I think you get the Prison here. I think that's the best one.
Abominable Chamber of the Unchained, which lets him special summon from the graveyard. The trap that he is missing. He can always access the escape again by using Sorama. And he decided to pop the trap with Shayama.
Yep, so they're going to destroy it here, and he's going to resolve. Is he going to use the
He's deciding to use Yama effect as well to special summon.
Okay. So just summoning a lot of monsters to the field here. And I think this Nibiru is going to see a massive payoff.
Really deciding to opt to not to play around the Nibiru. Yeah, I think Ben has recognized it too. As soon as John had used the Yama effect, it gave him the all clear to activate this Nibiru. So and I think he's really going to get punished. He does have
Rakea pop or to destroy.
Yeah, to destroy, but he no longer has the Yama to then summon another monster from the graveyard.
Get high value from it, right? So we're going to see just quite what happens next.
I believe John is left with only 2 cards in hand now, with Droll and Lockbird and Ash Blossom.
Yeah, I think I hope he does try and destroy a monster, because maybe he's got the Unchained Soul of Disaster in his deck to try and claim back a Link Summon.
That does work.
But by the looks of it, unfortunately, it seems like the Nibiru, the Primal Being, is resolving. The
Shayama would go to the graveyard, I believe, because it was special summoned. Would go to the bottom of the deck because it was special summoned from the graveyard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I think they're catching it now. Yeah, Ben wanting to shuffle the deck.
I guess John opted not to use the Rakea effect to destroy Arua.
Yep, so we're going to see a very big token as well, in all fairness, come down. So John has got...
And he's passed it right back to Ben.
Yep, so John's got a Droll and a Nibiru, the Primal Being.
But he does have quite a lot of cards conflicting with this Nibiru. I noticed the Lightning Storm and the Kashtira Fenrir that he is unable to use right now because he has a monster on the field. Decided to Ash the Foolish Burial. I wonder what else Ben has in hand to keep extending. The Foolish Burial starting, I wonder what he was going for.
Yeah, I'm curious what the Foolish Burial would have sent to the graveyard there.
Talents. He might opt to draw. Oh, Steel, is this going to be game? The token is very big. I would like to say over 8,000, and that is the game.
That's amazing.
With only 2 cards, he was able to end the game. He decided to not show how the Synchron deck can play going second, but instead use the token he special summoned to John's field to attack for game.
That's beautiful, I can't lie.